Tonight, there is a special follow-up to our report called Suddenly Black. This was back in November. Well, it was about white Southerners discovering their African ancestry, and the revelations are coming through those ever so popular genealogical DNA tests.
Mike Dunstan met a new DNA relative, and it got us thinking about our own ancestry. So we decided, well, they decided for us that we would be guinea pigs, going through the process of researching our roots. Mike's here now to show us what he found out. Can't wait on pins and needles. Mike,
and
tell
Sharon
us.
and Tracy, we appreciate your participation. You shake your tree hard enough and you might find some surprises. DNA testing and record digging can confirm or can contradict what your family members have told you about your lineage. We put ourselves to the test, as Sharon and Tracy just said, and discovered some interesting info. Also tonight, what you need to know about unlocking your ancestral origins.
It started with a swab, with CBS 46 anchor Tracy Hutchins scraping both cheeks with these two Q-tip-like devices, then breaking them off into vials and putting them in a pouch.
I didn't do it for so long, my cheek hurt.
Fellow anchor Sharon Reed did the same thing back in November as part of my Suddenly Black special report, and so did I. Then I took a trip to the post office to send the samples to the labs of MyHeritage DNA. The DNA analysis takes several weeks, but how reliable are the results?
I say they are very reliable at the raw data level.
This is what raw DNA looks like. Here's mine, a series of letters and numbers.
When you get tested, you look at your patterns and compare to those 1,000 people, and whoever you match the most is where your ancestors from.
That's Dr. Nathan Bowen.
All humans are 99.9% identical.
The geneticist and Clark Atlanta University assistant professor says genealogical DNA tests can be great for pinpointing general geographic regions, but he says there are limitations. The same person might get varying ethnicity breakdown results from a different test because of different reference population source data, algorithms from different companies, and this.
You can never guarantee that there wasn't some migration that brought in some different ancestry.
And DNA isn't the only way. You can also learn from historical records.
Yvette. Hey.
Meet Yvette Corporon, a family history author who works with MyHeritage DNA. With just names and birth dates, researchers dug into our family backgrounds.
You didn't know your grandfather?
Nobody.
Or your grandmother?
Expired when I was.
They died. They were dead.
Yvette revealed family trees going back 5 generations.
They have those houses
And they're
up and
still
down the
there.
same street.
No kidding.
All the brothers and sisters.
Including information about Sharon's father's family from North Carolina.
Your nanny's father, Walter Bolton, died on September 3rd of 1944. A day before, his brother Ronnie also passed away, and that made it in the local papers.
And she unveiled this about Sharon's great-great-great-grandparents on her mom's side.
This shows here Penrose Flowers, and it shows that he was 41 years old, that he was a male, and that the M is for mulatto. Yeah. So he was mixed race. And then his wife is listed as black. How are you? Nice
Tracy's tree was next, revealing restaurant roots in Mississippi.
Your great uncle Robert Hutchins is 30 years old. He's also listed as a cook in a cafe. Your great aunt Lorene is 27, is a manager of a cafe. And your great aunts Barbara and Margie, 16, are both waitresses in the cafe.
Well, my granddad could cook. He could turn Jiffy cornbread into like an amazing meal.
She also found a military war hero in her great-grandfather.
So this is the World War I draft registration. He was 31 years old and a farmer in Hot Springs.
I learned of a similar revelation.
On your father's side, your paternal grandfather, Joseph Nelson Dunstan. This is his World War I draft card.
Wow. He was in World War I?
He was in World War I. Here's a copy of it right there.
And discovered immigrant roots decades before crews built New York's Ellis Island.
This document here shows where your great-great-great-grandparents came from when they arrived in this country. It shows that they came over on the ship Adelheid from Antwerp, Belgium, on May 30th of 1854. This is from the ship's manifest, and this says a lot. This shows you a lot.
1854?
1854.
That was before the Civil War.
Yes.
Very revealing there. Now, when you test your DNA with MyHeritage and other sites, it automatically links you to a global DNA database. You can actually find genetic relatives. I researched the cost. Right now, let's show you. MyHeritage DNA is $69. Ancestry is $79, and 23andMe, that's $99. Now, once you take the commercial DNA test, Dr. Bowen says you can actually upload your raw DNA to the commercial sites and to other sites, and we'll show you those, like gedmatch.com. And the other one is wikitree.com. Now, where you can actually connect, and that's GEDmatch right there, you can connect with even more DNA relatives for free. It's a huge database, Sharon and Tracy. And that's Wikitree right there.
Yeah.
So, and that one's free.
So
they're both free.
So now we have this great information. Now we'd like to know,
Can
what are we made
Come on
of?
now.
All right, so let's start with
He's
Sharon.
like dragging it out.
Should we
Yeah, and
start
I've been
with
on
Sharon
him.
first?
We've
Yes.
been arguing for weeks over
Okay,
this. I want
let's
my
take a
results.
look. Now you're going to see two pages. The first, kind of just your general ethnicity. There we go.
There it is.
Sharon, 82.7 African, 16.2 European, 1.1 Melanesian. You know where that is? Melanesia?
Where's that?
It's kind of in the South Pacific. So you have some South Pacific roots
Oh, like
there.
Polynesian, but Melanesian.
Right.
Okay.
And but let's take a look at the breakdown. Let's show Sharon's breakdown. So you see up there, Finnish 3%, Irish 13.2%, North African 9.6, West African 10.7, Sierra Leonean, Nigerian.
playing that?
What's his music?
Yeah, that's Irish music. You're 13.2% Irish. Nigerian 39.5, Somali.
Is this me or Tracy?
This is you. Somali.
I'm sure you got our
3.7,
results mixed up.
Kenya 6.7, and Melanesian 1.1. So there we
Yeah,
go.
there's a
Look
mix
at all
up
that Irish
here.
blood. That's
Yeah.
why you get excited
Yeah.
about St. Patrick's Day, right?
No,
You'll be wearing green, huh?
I'm about the only person that doesn't like river dance. Okay,
All right.
cool
well,
exercise though.
what'd you think? Finnish too. You have some, and Melanesian.
It's a lot to take in. I thought it for sure was just going to say Wakanda, okay? And then that would be the end of it, right? I mean, you know me, okay? But it's very interesting, and you can kill the music now, Greg, but thank you. Appreciate
All right.
you.
You want to go to Tracy's now?
Yes,
let's
let's
see
get
what's-
right on her
All
now,
right.
okay?
So this is a general
There's
DNA.
no
Let's take a
Irish
look at
music in
Tracy's. Here we go. Tracy, you are 56.7 African, 41.1% European, and 2.2 Middle Eastern.
Huh, okay.
All right, now let's take a look at your DNA. You, like Sharon, are Finnish, 5.9%. You're Irish, 11.8%.
Play the music for her too.
Yeah.
It's over 10%.
All right, yeah. English,
A lot of
22.4%.
English,
Middle Eastern, 2.2%. Greek, 1%. West African, 17.2%. Sierra Leonean, 7.6%. And Nigerian, 31.9%.
Well, see, to me, the Finnish part for both of us, a little surprised at. Even though it's a small percentage, but you would never think that's part of your makeup.
Do you think we're related?
You could be. I mean, when you're talking about DNA relatives, no, when you actually look at DNA relatives, and I looked yours up, Tracy, you have about 1,700, you have 700, and I have about 1,300. Now, it depends on who takes the test. People you're related to genetically take. So if more people take the test, more people will show up. On MyHeritage, Ancestry probably more because
It's interesting, but I think you should stop digging now.
well, there we go.
It's a
And
lot
finally,
to
we'll just
take
get to
in.
mine real quick. What's interesting with mine, Tracy and I have about the same amount of African DNA. If you take a look, 56.7, just like yours. And
So
European.
are you saying we're related?
I'm not saying that. I haven't looked through all the DNA relatives, but 43.3 European. And then if you look at the breakdown, 1.1% Irish, way lower than you guys.
The
English,
Balkan, look at that.
11.7. Northwest European, 14.8. Balkan, 15.7. Yugoslavia,
Yeah, the
Serbia.
Balkan, yeah.
Yes. West African, 3.7. Sierra Leonean, 7.9. Nigerian, 41.1. Somali, 1.9. And Kenyan, 2.1. So a total of, it's like you're 9 ethnicities. I'm 9. You're 8.
You know what I love about this? No matter what, you think, no matter your bias, your prejudice, we're all cousins.
We're all connected.
We're all connected.
We really are.
Yeah.
What are your impressions?
It's good to know so I don't date like a marry or cousin later on, You want to make sure you look at that family tree to make sure there's no one in there that you know. But it's very cool. I mean, because I didn't really realize there was so much Irish and what was the other? Finnish. Finnish, yeah.
Both y'all.
Yeah.
You're
Sisters.
just so proud of yourself, aren't you? You're just well, this is very interesting. As we said, it's a lot to digest. We'll continue to
Thank you, Mike.
let it marinate. Thank you, Mike.